Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. I was looking down at the sheet. Here we go. Welcome
The
in.
sheet.
It is Friday. Yeah, not sheets, cuz.
No.
All right. Welcome in. It is a Friday. Now, people know that I'm doing this stuff. Oh, the boss is calling me, so I got to call the boss back. So we'll do all that coming up.
The boss.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got, when you work a lot, you have multiple bosses, unless you work for yourself. And I don't work for myself. So welcome in. It's a Friday. Philly Voice Sports Bets. Yes, go ahead.
Well, do we have a boss here since you're saying that, because this is one of your gigs? Do we have a boss here at Philly Voice Sports Bets?
We do. Technically, we have multiple bosses.
Really?
So, yes. Our immediate boss would be Evan Macy.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I've met him.
Yeah. And he knows you. And you play. Well, here's the thing. You play golf, and you play golf at a nice club. So you're automatically Evan's friend.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair.
Right. And our main boss would be Hal Donnelly, who just runs the entire Philly Voice site.
Okay.
So, yeah, just don't screw up, all right?
Right.
I'm going to be the one that hears it.
All right.
All right? Now, with that said, welcome in. We have a bunch to look at. Player props. A lot of stuff has changed. A lot of stuff has changed since Wednesday's show.
Yeah.
So let's start. I think the best place to actually start will be where you, myself, and I think maybe there's a concern that it's too late to jump in. But let's talk about that Buffalo-Miami game, please.
Okay.
Because when we left everybody on Wednesday, we were under the impression that Tua, I guess, had a glimpse of hope.
A possibility. Yeah.
And that it may even be Bridgewater, right? And so since then, it is now Skylar Thompson. And speaking of Sky, this thing has jumped up.
Yeah, 9.5 to 13.5.
Yeah. Yep.
In favor of course, the Bills. And yeah, Bridgewater's got something wrong with the finger in his throwing hand, so I don't think he's going to play. And it is going to be Skylar Thompson. And, this has all the markings of like a 38-10 type of football game. You can just see it. I mean, there's the groundswell of the non-biased or like the people that don't have a team in the mix.
Yep.
Everybody's coming in on Buffalo. It's going to be a feel-good type of day. You might have DeMar Hamlin there at the game. I mean, you can just see this game having so much energy on the side of the Bills that I really feel bad for Miami. I really do.
Terrible spot. What is it, 13.5 now, Matt?
13.5. Yeah, and you would think, with the weapons that they have, and considering that they did even play Buffalo well, in the run game last time that these two teams faced off, you would think that they'd have a little slack, but there's just not a scenario I see Skylar Thompson coming out and upsetting this Bills team, especially with Micah Hyde back now. That's a huge addition.
That's a big addition to their defensive backfield. You're right about that. And this could be Buffalo get up here, 14-0 in the first quarter. They take the run right off the table for the Dolphins, and it's all going to be on poor Skylar.
I was anticipating that, truthfully, that go ahead, and then they're just going to run the ball. I'm looking at a big Devin Singletary day. Honestly, his line was sitting at 53.5, 52.5, and actually 44.5 on FanDuel. So I'm taking an easy over right there. I feel like he's going to be on the ground a lot this game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those games where they get a lead, and you don't want to put the quarterback in a position, Josh Allen, to have to run in the second half and put himself in harm's way. Just hand the ball off.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think, too, you're in the playoffs, and a lot of times, look, you're up 45-7, you're going to hand the ball off. But, looking at this, and again, shout out to our guy, Walt from Walter Football, because he constantly brings this up. The fourth biggest key number in football is 14. So while you may be taking the worst of what this once was, remember, this opened up at 10.5. And it moved technically 3 points from its open to 13.5 because there's a third string quarterback in. So if you look at it from that kind of a big picture, I still think 13.5 is as live as it gets. I mean, look, you're sitting beautifully at 9. I'm fine at 10. But the reality is that people, it was at 9. Now it's at 13. No. It dipped at 9 for some reason, but it really was at 10.5 now to 13.5. I still think 13.5 is live.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
I did. Let me add. So I added a couple of things since we last spoke. So I wanted to bounce this off you guys. All right.
Yep.
We talked about Jacksonville in that game, right? Jacksonville, the money line. We also talked a little bit about the rushing yard leaders, right?
For playoffs specifically?
Oh no, okay. I got
so.
my days mixed up. I'm sorry. I thought all right, so I added 2. I'm sorry. I thought we did this on Wednesday because I added it and the date
You
was
probably did do it on Wednesday on a
No.
different show.
I didn't know what happened is my date doesn't tell me time of when I add it to my freaking sheet. So it was added on Wednesday. And then when I started to say this, I'm like, holy shit, because we talked about the Jags already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I bet at plus 300 and 900 respectively. I bet Christian McCaffrey to have the most playoff rushing yards at plus 3. And I bet Joe Mixon to have the most playoff rushing yards at plus 9. If you look at it this way, the odds of San Francisco winning the NFC and the odds of the Bengals winning the AFC are actually significantly shorter than either of these guys winning the rushing total because you need to win. You need to play 3 games. You're not going to do this with 2 games. You also don't need anybody hovering around you, right? Like Barkley's a great candidate, but I don't think he wins 3 games.
No,
Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, like you've got back. Same thing with Dalvin Cook. Like you've got too much in the noise there. So I identified those 2 guys, and I bet those 2 guys. And plus 900 is essentially betting that the Cincinnati Bengals win 3 games. If I can get that, then I think Joe Mixon at plus 900 pays off, which technically is a better bet than the Bengals winning the AFC at like plus 200 or so.
I like that. I mean, in fact, I told you guys I'm in one of these crazy fantasy things for the playoffs where you have to use one player from each team. And one of my back is Christian McCaffrey because I think he's going all the way. Yep. And my quarterback is Joe Burrow, one of my quarterbacks, because I think they're going at least to the AFC Championship game.
I love it. I mean, Joe Burrow, honestly, I was thinking about it last night, and I had a long talk because a friend of mine is a big Justin Herbert fan, and I love Justin Herbert as well. But going into this playoffs, I feel like I have more confidence in Joe Burrow just after seeing last year, and then in addition to the way they've been heating up the past month or so, I really think the Bengals are going to be a team that nobody wants to face, especially with an easier matchup with the Ravens first round. I think they're going to be fully rested somewhat, for next week as well.
Yeah, so regarding that game, the Chargers and the Jaguars, I get the feel. I want to know if you guys are getting the feel too, that a lot of people are sort of coming around to liking the Jaguars. All of a sudden, they're becoming sort of a sexy pick just for week 1 in the playoffs, and yet that line keeps going the other way. It's now up to 2.5 for Los Angeles on the road.
Well, okay, so I think the reason why is because there still is there's a ton of value on any favorite below 3 that's on the road. That's what I think this is. Like, you can look, if you're on Jacksonville, then you're on Jacksonville. Right. But if you're not on Jacksonville and you're just looking at this game like, where is the value? Where is the value? The Chargers, the Chargers have more talent overall. Yeah. Like there are issues with Staley and the coaching stuff aside, but the Chargers are laying less than 3. I think it opened up at 2.
It opened up at 2. That's what I got it at. Now it's at 2.5.
Right. So that's where I think the value is. And I think the betting value appears where it's like, okay, you've got a road favorite who ideally is better than the team they're playing at, and they're only laying less than 3. At 3, that's where I'd be like, I don't know how, to your point, Harry, I don't know how much line movement there is if this thing opens at 3. I don't think it goes through 3, and maybe it goes to 3.5, but I don't think much after that.
Jacksonville, whipped them way back in September, 38-10. But that was the game where Herbert had the banged up ribs.
Right.
There was no Keenan Allen. Bosa was hurt. So this Charger team is getting healthier. I know Williams got a little nicked up again last week, but he's going to play. But it's interesting. There's no receiving prop yet on DraftKings for Mike Williams. Not receiving yards or receptions. He is off. Now, he has an anytime touchdown number, but not the receiving yards yet.
Interesting. Same thing for FanDuel, actually. I'm looking right now. FanDuel doesn't have any either. He's plus 165 for an anytimer.
Oh, he's going to play.
He was a full practice yesterday as well. So was Bosa. So I think, like, from a talent standpoint, like Eitan's saying, is like they're a better team, but something about my gut just can't get away from, what the Jaguars have going on right now. And I really love their receiving core too, honestly, between Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Marvin Jones Jr. Like, there's something about those options. Like, none of those 3 are elite wide receivers, but they come together with their shiftiness and they play to each other's strengths. And the way Doug Peterson's been able to use them, I don't know. Like we were saying with Brendan Staley, like, I don't trust Brendan Staley. I trust Doug Peterson to put his team in the best position to win. So
I took Herbert over 1.5 touchdowns.
I was just looking at both quarterbacks for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I
minus
think I'm gonna target
140.
Eckler. Like this might be a 3 touchdown sprinkle game for me on Eckler.
Wow. Okay.
Think about it. Like the guy's going to score.
Yeah.
Plus
You know?
1,600 for 3 touchdowns.
But I'm locked in on Jacksonville, so
Okay.
there's nothing I can do there. I'm Jacksonville plus 7.5, under 51.5.
The Chargers are 9-1 against the number in their last 10 games against Jacksonville. That one loss coming back in September,
Right.
where they were a 6-point favorite.
So, and okay, 9-1, but 9 of those 10 games were pre-Doug Peterson.
Right.
Bad Jaguars teams.
No, but I get it. That's why I moved it to look. If you're going to play Jacksonville, the only way to play that is the money line. All right.
And Jacksonville's 11-2 to the over in their last 13 games against the Chargers.
So let me throw. I'm actually under in this game, by the way.
Okay.
I'm under 47.5. But I moved, like I said, I also play the same game alternate Jacks. The only other game that I bet aside. Remember, I told you guys that I messed around with the Bucks plus 3.5 under 51.5, same game. But the only other actual side, like standalone side, I have a teaser for you, Harry. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Parlay for you,
Are we
Harry.
going
Don't
through
worry.
0 today?
No, not today, not today. Although that one did hit, but it was for other reasons.
Good.
Let's see. So the only side that I'm actually on is the New York Football Giants plus 3.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I think my grandma took that spread, too.
Pete Prisco, the whole world are on the Giants plus the 3.
But you know who isn't? You know who isn't? The average person that's just putting in a bet right now. And what time does that game play, by the way?
4:37.
At
On
what
Sunday,
time?
Sunday.
Right.
On Sunday,
So,
yeah.
You know who else is going to start betting the Vikings? Just watch that line. Okay. Watch that line go up because people don't know what they're doing and they're going to lose and they're going to lose on Saturday and they're going to lose early and they're going to say, well, I haven't bet this game, but the fucking Giants suck.
Yeah.
All right. So just wait. Like, who gives a shit? I don't know what Pete Prisco is, but that guy doesn't impact my betting, nor does anybody else in this matter, because I know that when the gate closes, right? This is a long play. When the gate closes, chasers, losers, morons, all the others, they're going to be hitting the gate as hard as they can for the Vikings. And that's where I'll look smart at the end. So
Okay.
I may look like a Pete Prisco bot right now. But that's not the case. A cuz bot.
A cuz bot. I'm on the Vikings money line in that game as part of my parlay. I don't know that they can cover the 3, but I think they are the better team, and they are at home. Their defense a little bit suspect, but I don't see Justin Jefferson getting held down for a second straight time.
Can I just speak to that real quick before we turn to our resident Giants fan in the show here?
Oh, he's got a crazy Giant. The Giant fans are nuts, and he's been in touch with him. He'll tell you about it in a second.
Okay. I am 5-0 this year against the spread. 5-0 against the spread with using Wink Martindale against first-year head coaches. 5-0. He is 19-2 straight up, 16-4-1 against the spread. So, to your question, Harry, or point about Justin Jefferson, second time, all this other stuff, Wink has done it. All right? First time head coaches. He's done this 5 times this year, and one of them already came. Now, the argument can be, the caveat can be, well, how many times has he faced that first-year head coach the second time around? Right. I don't have that information, but I know this MF right here in Wink knows what he's doing.
So that's what it's all about. This is not about Brian Daboll. This isn't about Saquon Barkley. This isn't about stinking Daniel Jones. It's about Wink.
Yeah, and I think aren't the Vikings down their top tackle too?
I was just going to say
they
the top tackles.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's going to make a big difference. So
I
think that I think Wink's going to take advantage of it with that front 4 that the Giants have been rocking with lately. That's honestly the strength of that defense. Kayvon Thibodeau's coming around. You also have Azeez Ojulari, who's fully healthy now, and Dexter Lawrence obviously in an All-Pro year. I'm going to be taking the Giants plus 3, and then my second leg of this little 2-leg play is a Daniel Jones anytime touchdown. And I really think he's going to find a way to run one in. And I think everyone on the public is expecting Saquon Barkley to kind of take over and, come into this game and put up the big score. But I think goal line comes around, I think that's exactly what the Vikings are going to be looking at too. And I think we're going to see a little Daniel Jones, run on this one. And I think he's going to put one in. So for plus 305, a little Giants plus 3 and Daniel Jones anytimer is what I'm rocking with.
All right, now tell all the people what the Giant fans are saying in your part of the country.
Yeah, so I have a good friend, Chris, and Chris actually does some sports journalism for Fordham, and he has press passes to MetLife and also Madison Square Garden. So this is somebody, with some credentials, and he came to me and he said, I hate to admit it, but I think me and you deep down both know that this is a similar playoff vibe to the Eli Manning days when the Giants snuck in the wild card with this same record, where this, and I couldn't go that far. I'm not going that far to putting my fandom, in something that I saw when I was 11 years old.
Look,
Can't do it.
Everybody on this team is 100% healthy. They can beat a lot of teams in the NFC. But that Giants team was dangerous up front. I mean, two times over with Eli, right? That's how they beat New England.
The defensive front, yeah.
Yeah, so much of that, like Thibodeau, you mentioned, like Thibodeau might be like you need to be everybody all hands on deck to be talking about that. Look, I cringe when people equate what the Eagles are going through this year to the 2017 thing, because even that, the last couple of weeks we saw at the end of the season, the Eagles never looked that bad, ever looked that bad in 2017. But I think the Giants at the very least can cover the 3. All right. So Eli aside, like Eli's not walking through that door, but they can cover 3.
Yeah. Yep. I think so too.
All right. Let me hit you one more here on the way out. This is the massive parlay. All right. $25 to win $200, to win $279.81. All right.
Now, is this the teaser or a parlay?
Parlay. I'm going to hit you with a parlay and then a teaser.
All right.
Parlay is the Bills and Jags on the money line each.
So Buffalo, Jacksonville money line.
3-leg Buffalo, Jacksonville. Now, this was Buffalo minus 12 at the time.
Okay.
So Buffalo, Jacksonville at plus money on the money line. Those two. Giants plus 3. Cincinnati on the money line. Tampa Bay on the money line. 5 plays. $25 to win $279.81. All right.
So go through it again.
Bills money line, Jags money line, Bengals money line, Bucks money line.
Bengals and Bucks too.
All
and
money
then
line.
Giants plus the points.
Correct. So the Jags and the Giants are where I'm gaining some traction back, but I'm also linking 5 legs together with essentially a 4-leg parlay. Now, granted, I'm not getting a ton with Buffalo, but anything is fine on a free leg.
Okay, so it's 5 legs, 4 on the money line, and 1 with plus 3.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, now let me tell you the teaser. Ready?
All right.
This is a plus 123 teaser. 49ers minus 3, Jags plus 9, Giants plus 9.5.
49ers. Keep going again.
Niners minus 3, Jags plus 9.
Jags.
Giants plus 9.5. 6.5 point teaser. Where it stands.
All right.
I love that, honestly.
There you go.
I love that one. I can't. Right. I'm like trying to think of a leg that would break, and honestly, like there's just not a
blowout,
really
right? Like that's what you worry about.
I'm going to tail you on that teaser.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to tell you on that.
I would love for that. Now oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm also looking at some player props in this Niners game against Seattle. Kenneth Walker III, I'm going under 60.5 rushing yards at minus 120. And George Kittle, I'm going over 44.5 yards receiving and an anytime touchdown of plus 140 for Big George.
Yep.
It's been stuck in my head since you said it, the 2-touchdown game.
The ladder, yeah, man. We had that. So why don't you just run the ladder that we talked about here on Wednesday?
What repeat that ladder again?
Well, you've got the first part. Now just add $10 for him to score 2 touchdowns.
Oh, the 2 touchdown.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. So or whatever, like whatever half of a unit is, right? So if I'm betting at any time, it might be like $25. So then I'll throw like $15 on a 2 touchdown.
Plus 1,100. That's I feel like that's some good value on that.
Shop around though. You may be able to get a better number on that. Unibet, I think, had a good one.
Yeah, I see Unibet right now plus 1,100 as well.
Okay, so that might have dipped. Nice.
One game that I was looking at, we talked about it a little bit, was the Bucks Cowboys, and I think I'm going to be leaning towards the Bucks. I mean, 7-0 in his career against the Cowboys. You know, when it comes down to it, I can't imagine a scenario where Tom Brady loses this game. And not only that, but we also finally have interception props up for Dak Prescott.
Minus 180. I have
Is
this
that
in
it?
front of me. Are you going to lay that?
Wow.
It's
See,
heavy.
what's
That's
gonna
why I
happen.
just wanted to bring it up.
Let's talk about it, Matt. I'm glad you brought that up because I think this is what's going to happen. People are either not going to bet that, they're going to bet the under, or they're going to foolishly take that minus 180 and say, well, the New York Rangers or the LA Kings or whoever, the Idaho Vandals, they're going to win. So let me throw it. Like, you could take Buffalo. Let's just say Buffalo, right? Let's just say, what does that look like? Because now I'm intrigued. Like, give me a leg that I know is not going to lose. It's probably, though, not going to move it much, right? So what does Buffalo at minus 950 and Dak Prescott throwing an interception at minus 180 get me? It gets me minus 140. I would pay minus 140 for Dak Prescott to throw an interception. I would not pay minus 180, even though I do believe minus 180 is probably a decent bet. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
I agree.
does. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Is
I
there
mean,
a
anyway, they
third
get
leg
the
we can
value.
add that's a
To
no
maybe get
loss?
plus money?
No, because it'll probably bring us to like minus 110. Come on, like let's look at
Well,
college.
the Bengals. How about the Bengals on the money line?
Yeah, I was thinking of Bengals or Niners. That was my first instinct as
I mean,
well.
that Bengals line's up to 9.5 too.
Do you trust that
Yes.
Cincinnati does not lose to? It could be
Oh,
Huntley.
man.
Look, if Huntley is playing, I'm going to play the Ravens on the spread, aren't
Right,
you?
but not the money line.
You son of a bitch.
Mm.
All right, it's that
Well,
plus
that three-legger plus 134.
Where are you?
You know, if you add in Cincinnati.
There you
so
go.
That's
Where
on
are you?
FanDuel.
FanDuel.
No. You've added the spread.
I added Buffalo
You didn't add
money
minus
line.
500.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put
Oh.
Tom Brady. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Prescott is plus 106.
Yeah, plus 106.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, this is a terrible thing to do. We should not be doing this. We either should be laying the minus 180 or not playing this bet. I mean, that's what people who do this for a living would tell you, but we don't do this for a living, so screw them.
I don't know. Anything to see Dak Prescott's failure. So you know, that's
Why
how I
not?
feel as a
Okay,
Giants fan.
why not just bet him that he does? Like, would you, any interest in not betting an interception? Like, no, he would not throw an interception at plus
Oof.
what's it, 134.
I'd
Yeah.
rather take that.
No interception?
Yeah.
I don't
Let's
know.
see. What's the what is it? Plus 134, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The implied probability for that is 42.74%. So
I don't know. I feel like
Plus
the Buccaneers
134.
just got back some of their secondary too, right? They just got back. Like Logan Ryan practiced yesterday.
I
Carlton
mean,
Davis.
the odds would tell you that this guy is going to throw an interception.
Yeah.
Minus 180. Was it 180?
Yeah.
That's 64.29% chance.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, I got Dallas winning the game anyway.
Well, I don't. So,
Oh,
well, I
yeah,
don't have a side. I mean, I've spread.
Dallas at Philly, divisional round of playoff. You can't get anything better than that.
Is that what Roger Goodell?
I
He's
mean, you
licking
could
his
get
lips at
Tampa
that one
Bay.
right now. I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
you can get the Bucks, by the way, knocking off the Eagles. Tom Brady in his final season beating
Oh,
Philadelphia. at
Getting
home.
to the NFC Championship
just
game
saying.
in San Francisco,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
where he might end up playing next year.
Yeah.
Oh, the drama.
God, I really want to play this. I'm not going to play Dak Prescott interception. Sorry.
All right.
All right. There you go. Anything else you want to get out before we get out? Harry, do you have anything in
No,
college
that's it.
before Matt and I attack the NBA tonight?
No, college will be tomorrow.
Right now, the only thing I wanted to add was I had it up here too in the NBA. The only side that I really like here in the NBA tonight. Actually, you know what? I'll give you this. I'm gonna fade your boy here and go under 25.5 points for Julius and under 11.5 rebounds for Jokic.
Okay. I was actually going something
RJ
similar.
Barrett's back.
I'm taking Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points. And I think that's going to come because Washington gives up the third most amount of points to guards. Their defense is absolutely atrocious, and they have no identity as a team right now. So I definitely like Jalen Brunson tonight. He's been going crazy. He's making an all-star bid at this point. So taking him over 24.5. And then another one that I liked, there's actually no player props up on FanDuel for this one, was Tyrese Halliburton over. I believe his line is usually 2.5 threes. Going up against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
The Hawks are very susceptible to everything right now, truthfully. They have another team that really can't find themselves with DeJounte Murray and Trey sharing a backcourt. And I feel like that trade now, we could say, it kind of blew up in their face because they have nothing going for them, and everyone's been picking them apart lately. So I expect the same from Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers are a better team right now. So I'm going to be rolling with them tonight.
Awesome. Harry, we'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Matt, see you guys Monday.
Sounds good.
We'll have Monday Night Football. We'll have a bunch of shit to look at there. And look, college starting to ramp up with the NBA. It's early when we do these, so a lot of the hockey stuff comes down a little later. But I will have, because this has been cooking, so we will have the first introduction of NHL shots on goal. Are you ready?
Oh wow. By Monday, we'll talk you into that Dak Prescott interception bet.
I thought you're not betting that.
No, but Monday.
No. I'm out. All right, we'll see you guys.
See you guys.